Son shit, y'all ready?
I hope y'all are. This episode, hold on, bring the mic up. This episode, this is a throwback. Queen Liliuokalani. And the reason this is throwback is because now it's Asian and Pacific Islander month, Heritage Month. However, it seems like they keep adding and taking stuff away. Asian and Pacific Islander month. You know what I'm saying? We did the last show Wednesday for the month, and it was like Black History. But now it's May, so we gotta, you know what I'm saying, ride accordingly. You know what I mean? And this is what, like I told y'all, we doing 2 Black History joints a week because I got 2 shows a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays. So we it's there. Then it's just one of those pick and choose. And then even then, it's 2. And then I might not pick the second one or the first one, but I'm like, yo, that's a dope joint. And I might even skip the 2 from the previous week. You know what I mean? It's weird. I'm not going to try to explain it, but if you're hearing it and you get what I'm saying, you know what I mean? That's how it go. But there's always something in the cut. And that's my point. Like, yo, that's why earlier when we first started this, it actually was like 2 a week. And then it was like, nah, let's not do that. And we just went with what we went with, and we did it this way. But yes, the Queen of Hawaii, 1891. Y'all ain't understanding what we doing when it comes to this right here. This is how we get down. Playoffs are still continuing. We gonna do a whole thing about the Lakers. The internet said we're going to talk about the Lakers on a separate joint. We ain't going to get into this. What I will get into, and I know I said I'm avoiding politics. You could talk about Trump all the time, but this 100-day thing, I love the fact that my man is confident. You let him tell it, we up. He's telling it to you like we up. We're not up. Not one bit. You know what I'm saying? But let him tell it, we straight, we good. And it's like, yo, how do you deal with that? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff that's not going good, and in a couple of weeks it's gonna get worse from what everybody's talking about. You know what I'm saying? We got people misleading everybody on what is and what isn't going to happen, and why isn't it not going to happen. And it's one of them. I'm just. Like I said, my whole thing was to just step away from politics. And then my man was on ABC. Our president was on ABC. And he said the most outlandish joint. He saw your man's fingers. He was like, yo, look at him. He part of that group. And he literally thought on the knuckles the Photoshop and pose thing to try to like translate what the symbols mean with the actual joints on his knuckles. This is not a Saturday Night Live skit. My man literally was arguing with this dude from ABC. Like, nah, man, you see it. Want me to show you the pictures. And this dude is trying to get away from it all. He's like, you know what? Ukraine. Nah, forget Ukraine. No, you admit that I'm right. You seen what I saw. That. You know what I'm saying? This is our president sounding like your coworker. That's stuff that your coworker says. That's stuff that when you're just on the street and you hear somebody say something random says. This is the stuff that when people are walking and they're talking to the MAGA people and they say some outlandish stuff, that's the stuff they say. Our president genuinely believe that. Like this ain't like that was not a propaganda get down. He genuinely was like, yo, did you not see? Like he sound like his people. He sound like his constituents. Yo, this is what I'm like. That's why I'm like, yo, man, I can't talk about politics because you'd be out here losing your mind every week. This dude, he said it. It wasn't his peoples who was saying it. He said it. And his people was like, see, I told you. And everybody who got common sense is like, How? Forget the Kool-Aid. Forget you don't drink the Kool-Aid. Nah. There's something else going on. Like there is. Are you guys ordering packs of different oxygen to inhale? What is it that you guys are doing? Is there something like, should I never ever watch Fox or News Nation because there's something that is transmitted at the ticker that hypnotizes you and puts you in this place of stupidity? Why? How? Come on, man. What we do? Yo, but it is what it is. You can't even get mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Like when the president is genuinely authentic in his heart of hearts, telling you that's what it is because he truly believes that, you can't get mad. You just like, he believes in Santa Claus. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, B. What else is going on in the news? Y'all see the joint with a white woman, a little black kid, went in her baby bag and took something, and she called this little 2-year-old the N-word. Like, stop and think about that. And I'm gonna get to the rest of this other stuff in a minute. But stop and think about that. She called a 2-year-old that. We've seen little kids do all kind of wild stuff all the time. 2-year-olds, terrible twos. That's what they call that. Terrible twos. Everybody knows 2-year-olds are a handful. There's this weird place with 2-year-olds. It's like you're still in baby mode and you're enjoying it, but you also know, okay, they're getting older. And that weird window is where the terrible twos are. Because when they're 3, they're a whole different thing. When they're 4, they're completely ready to be put out to the world and presented as a child. Like, yo, ta-da, tell them your ABCs. ABC, you know what I'm saying? Tell them what's 1 + 1, 2. Hey, show them that you can read a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. At 2, tantrums is just outbursts for the smallest little thing. You know what I mean? They go to sleep watching one thing and wake up in that because they fell asleep during the middle of it and wake up and you done turned to something else and they just like, and they pointing at the TV because some of them still don't even want to talk. You're like, what is, and then you got to turn back to the joint. You're like, oh my God, how did you wake up upset about, you went to sleep. You know what I mean? They don't want to take baths all the time. Just 2. They still want to be in baby mode. You got to break them out of baby mode. They still want their binky. You're like, nah, yo, you a little too big to be putting this binky in your mouth. And then they start wilding. They start throwing stuff. 2 is a wild year for children. And she took the time to call this 2-year-old the N-word. And it's not even the fact that she did that. This is where it gets weird. She sets up a GoFundMe type of thing, which I don't know why. For a lawyer, maybe? I don't know. I don't care. But people donated money. At the time of what I heard, 19,000 and some change. White people were like, yeah, about time somebody say something. They act like animals. Children! A 2-year-old, not like a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old. You know what I mean? Not like some 18-year-old. A child who, we've all been around little kids. Little kids are just menaces. They are like, you can't turn to a parent and go, I blame your parenting. They're 2. Everybody who's been around a 2-year-old knows 2-year-olds are a different thing. And to have a bunch of grown men and women in their comment sections say the stuff that they said about a 2-year-old. And when people go, yo, why can't this country get past this one thing? And it's people like me, people who look like me, people who are a couple of shades lighter than me, who always understand that that is the very fabric of this country. This country was built on that in multiple layers. And every time we think we should be in Martin Luther King, I see little black boys, little white girls who I had a dream vibe, that lets you know, no, her child will be racist because she's racist. Her child will know that vibe. And I'm not saying we'll be down with it. Might just like denounce it and go, nah, I'm not doing that. But there's no way that you ain't gonna tell me that child isn't going to get that vibe from her parent or his parent. I don't know what the kid was that she was holding in his arm, just a big head white baby. But what I do know is that's what she said to a 2-year-old. That's what she said about a 2-year-old. You know what I'm saying? That. She got that upset. And let's keep it real. It had everything to do with race. Because if that had been a little white kid, oh no, hey, that's mine. Oh, isn't that cute? We know that. It had nothing to do with a child being a child. It had everything to do with that was a racial moment. Again, 2-year-olds do wild joints all the time. They do. We know it. Anybody who's been around some kids, they know kids are crazy. But the fact that these adults were willing to just put that, it was okay with putting that out there openly. Like, yeah, that's what we do. That's how we get down. That's why this country can't get past it. And when you hear what we do, again, don't want to get into politics, but to say that it's not there's no political motivation that's racial or racist. Yeah. And I'm not saying all politicians are racist, but I will tell you this much. They know their constituents are, and that's who they're trying to pander to stay in the office. To keep the seats that they have, they're going to stay and say what they need to say. You know what I'm saying? It always happens that way. You know what I mean? It goes down that way. A lot of times it isn't even until they've been voted out that you realize, oh, that ain't even their mentality. No, it's really not a lot of times. A lot of times. I'm not saying all the time. I'm just saying a lot of times. It's what you do. It's what happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there are some straight off the wall racists out there. Then there's, hey, I'm only doing it because I need to be in this position. This is a government job. The government is taking care of look, I get to put my kid in a whole different school. When I take vacations, it ain't really my money being spent. It's y'all money. Oh yeah, I'm about to live it up. What you talking about? Yeah, I'm everything. They tell you that. We've watched politicians, and I'm speaking for the GOP. I'm speaking towards the GOP, where people have been part of these programs and these projects, and then when it's like, oh, now it's time to turn on those kind of people, they go, yeah, to stay in my position, I'ma do so too. Yeah, forget them. And it's like, hold on, weren't you part of a project? Nah, I was, but then I seen the errors of my ways. I understand that ain't really feasible. There's no productivity in that. There's no progression in that. This is a waste of time and taxpayers' money. I'm good. I bounced out. I take my name off that list. I'm over here now. And people get the vote. That's the votes. Yeah, about time he see, even he learned, and then you get the votes, and he stay in for another couple of years. So yeah, I don't think all politicians are racist, but I know everybody's an opportunist. To be a politician, you have to be an opportunist. That is just the truth. But that's the game. This woman is not part of the game. Those people donating money to her are not part of the game. They're the problem. You know what I mean? It's not the little 2-year-old. It's them. That's where the problem is. But anyway, man, what's up? What else happened? Kanye went out here telling people he was giving fellatio to his cousin. That hey, I said it on my show, and I'm gonna say it again. All this brother has to do is just make some good music. Good I ain't even saying classic, great, good music. That's all he has to do. He has to have a Kendrick Lamar moment where he finds that sound, he taps into that get down, and it becomes that thing for the summer. That's it. All this extra stuff out here dressing like the ultimate, like the final boss of a clan movement. You know what I'm saying? Like he Bixby from Dave Chappelle's show, who done stepped it up a level. Like he has ascended in the ranks, and then he chooses to go, y'all want to see my face? And he takes it off, and they're like, oh Lord, the king of the Klansmen is a blind black man. That you out here dressed like that, you all the homies that we done seen you collaborate with for years. Now all of these dudes is trash, and all of these dudes is garbage, dude. What is you doing? You know what I mean? Then you go out here and tell people that you was putting penises in your mouth. I mean, at this point, you're just like, I don't even know. I don't get it. I don't even know, like, was that supposed to be a brownie point? Like, hey dog, if you ever thought about it, just think about it. It don't really make you gay. I did it. I'm Kanye. I was experimenting up until the age of 14. I don't even know how that works. I mean, let's give you the benefit of the doubt. At some point, you was like, I wonder, and then you tried it. But if you kept doing it, you're not experimenting anymore. Just saying. You know what I mean? You know what the taste like, you know what the feeling is, and you found it pleasurable. And you know what I'm saying? And I said that to somebody, and somebody was like, well, what about his cousin? I'm pretty sure his cousin rationalized that. Because I'm pretty sure at some point, Kanye was like, now my turn, and his cousin was like, nah, that's gay. I'm good, B. No. I'm not the one that was curious about it. You were. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, okay, cool. I mean, why not? Let you try it out and see what you like about it. That was it. That was it. You know what I mean? I was like, you didn't have to do it. I didn't ask you to do it. You volunteered to do it because you was like, hey man, you ever wonder what it would be like? And I said, nah, and went right back to playing Super Nintendo. And you were like, hey, well, don't tell nobody. How about you let me do you? And I was like, hey, I ain't gonna tell nobody if you do it because that's just weird, but I'm not gonna stop you. I don't know how that conversation went. I don't even know look, at what point do you even bring that up to another dude? Women don't understand. Men find themselves in rooms alone 90% of the time. Whether it's just two dudes playing video games. Back in the day, this is back in the day talk. Dudes be miles and be like whole time zones away playing video games with each other. Now that's just totally different. We're talking about dudes, when we talking about growing up, you boom, boom, boom. You go to so-and-so house, y'all watching Rap City. It's just you and your mans because your mom and somebody else is in a whole nother room because they ain't got time for hear all that boom, guns and all that or whatever they think hip-hop is. So it's just y'all. It's just boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? You go up in the room. Boom, boom. Y'all could be hanging out. Y'all walking back from the ball, playing ball. Y'all walking to the store. Y'all walking from the store. Y'all done kicked it at the mall. Y'all dudes are by themselves a lot. So it becomes a point. At what point does somebody go, yo, I'm cool enough with you to go, hey dog, sometimes I wonder what it would be like to give fellatio. And then you have to hope that the other dude is cool enough to let you get that off your chest and not judge you. I ain't never had that thought, dog. And keep it pushing. Then you just gotta hope, man, at no point hey, yo, man, you ever been hanging around with so-and-so? Hey, have you ever said something about fellatio? Nah, what you mean? Like, y'all know a shorty? Nah. And keep it respectful. And that's like, no. Nah. Oh, he trying to find somebody at least to go to get some? I don't know, man. And guess what? That person throwing out the questions ain't gonna think twice. Why? Because most of the time we don't. We don't. It ain't until you hang around somebody that we know that's gay that somebody goes, hey, did he try to do something with you? That's the only time you got to worry about it. Most of the time, we all hang out with other heterosexual dudes. Until somebody says something like what Kanye said, and he said it to his cousin. That's wild. That's the equivalent of like D-boys using their own product. Never get high on your own supply. That joint, the 10 crack commandments. Number 5, never get high on your own supply. That, because everybody knows somebody who had a curious moment. You're like, yo, what? I just wanted to know what the hype was about. Like, dog, you see these crackheads out here? I'm just saying, you was like, yo, I wonder what makes these dudes sing and dance and do the shimmy for some crack and be out here looking at little stuff on the ground. They see anything white on the ground, they think it's a crack joint. Like that. They stop bathing, stop combing their hair. They just be walking around here like zombies a little bit. You was curious about what makes that happen? Oh, I ain't that curious, bro. I'm good. I'm never gonna be that curious. I don't know what that has to be. I don't even want to be around no crack. It ain't like crackheads are asking to share, offering to share. Like, hey man, you want to hit of this? Ain't nobody ever been around no crackheads who's been like, hey, want to hit? Like, nah, that's not marijuana. There ain't no puff passing on this. Then I don't know what they do. They just get spacey and then they just start saying. Every crackhead I've been around, they get to swaying and humming and singing. I'm like, if anything, I just want to know, like, does it activate a channel of music in your head? Like what? But again, not curious enough to go, I want to smoke some of this just to know what happens. Nah, not at all. Not one bit. That is not a thing to me. That's what that joint felt like to me. I felt like Kanye stepped into a weird place. And I don't even, look, piece of me don't even believe that it really is what it is. You know what I mean? Not because like the cousin hasn't come out and was like, hey dog, we was kids. Just because it's Kanye. Kanye is at this point where he's just doing everything he can to get attention. And his faithful fans and followers make excuses for this dude. They find ways to go, it's okay. And it's like, nah, son. Like when he was out here with the hating of the Jews and people were like, well, you do know how the Jewish people are. Like, dude, everybody's like that. What are we talking about? He had the swastika. Man, but you do know what the swastika really is, man. It was not always. I'm like, okay. You know, Jesus was the first and only person crucified. Crucifixion was a main torture method for the Romans. That's what they did. They crucified people for hundreds of years. That dude, Jesus, was crucified. KRS-One said it best. If he was electrocuted, people be walking around here with electric chairs on their neck because it's a symbol of Jesus. They symbolize that with his religion, with the religion of Christianity. So by all intent and purposes, it's idolship, it's idol worshiping. You know what I'm saying? KRS-One said that back in the 90s. We know what the cross means. We know that crucifixion was that, but we know what it means now. Yeah, we know what that the swastika means, but we know what they turned it into. They turned it into a whole nother symbol. So what are y'all talking about? So when this man is doing this, and then he's saying these Jewish things, and he's a self-proclaimed black Nazi, how are y'all still, man, I'm just saying, man, you ain't understand that the Nazis had some good qualities. Like, dang, dog, y'all really be out here like that? Y'all really be, okay. Y'all, oh, man. Y'all don't even defend your family like this. Like, who are y'all people, man? But anyway, this episode, I am not going to try to say this woman's name because I got it right. Queen of Hawaii. I will not butcher. I butchered the name on the show. And I think I got it right once and I was so happy. So, yeah. This is what we do. This is how we get down. Thank y'all for listening. East Coast, West Coast, worldwide, Lost Boys. I haven't said that in a while either. By the way, we are working on a website that will be a one-stop for all joints. That's me. You know what I mean? The radio show, this podcast, old music. We're gonna start trying to get into clothes and apparel and all that. It's gonna be. We're working on some stuff, man. We're really trying to figure out how to do this and yeah, man. But thank y'all for listening. All over the world too, and that's the good thing. All over the world. Ireland checks us out. Places in Africa check us out. Russia checks us out, which is crazy to me, man. Lithuania checks us out. Italy checks us out. India checks us out. Who else? Japan checks us out. Chile checks us out. Places in Colombia checks us out. Oh my God, yeah, man, we're everywhere. We are everywhere. France, you know what I'm saying? England, yeah, man. Thank y'all for rocking. Thank y'all for doing South Africa. You know what I'm saying? Or a couple of other countries in Libya, Nigeria, Ghana, Congo, yeah. Yeah, son, we everywhere. I love it. Argentina, word. Salute. Thank y'all for rocking. Yeah. And we will not be, we don't have no videos of these. I keep getting that question all the time. When you gonna make some videos? I ain't doing videos, man. I know what I do when I listen to a podcast. I listen to a podcast while I'm doing other things. I don't want to, people be like, I just want to see what they face. I want to see what they wearing. I want to see the face. Like, okay, I get you. It's just one person. So if you need to see one person talk, maybe I see the appeal of a conversation amongst various people, but when it's one person, do you really need to see the one person talking? Like that'll make the conversation, like that'll make what I'm saying more or less important to you. Like, I ain't like the way he looked when he said that. I don't rock with your history no more. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I do know a lot of people are, I feel pressured to do that. Because I've seen a lot of podcasters, I know for a fact, I never knew what they looked like. And then one day I see and they're like, yo, I got a video. Like, oh, word? Then somebody will go, hey, maybe you ought to make videos. And I'm like, oh, word? Nope, I'm good. Thank y'all for listening, though. East Coast, West Coast, worldwide, Lost Boys. Let's do what we do. Yes. Look, we out here so live. Yes, and it don't stop. Still let it and it don't stop. Still get the and it won't stop. Still thinking cause I'm gon' stop. Rocking it on. You know how we do. We gon'. Yeah. This is that time. You know how we do, man. Look, I told y'all we gonna try to bring the vibe back up and make everything, feel good. You know what I mean? Cause that Ghostface joint had you, like I said, had you out here lost. But anyway, that ain't what we here for right here. You know how we do, man. It's that time of the night. Word. So we gonna get it in how we get it in. You know what I mean? So one time for your mind and don't quit. Still keep pumping that funkiness. It's like, take it from the top. Take it from the top. This moment in Asian and Pacific Islander. One time for your mind, 2 times for the grind. Word. Let me stop. Anyway, today, with Mother's Day being the theme, let's talk about something crazy. Crazy. The first and only reigning queen of Hawaii. Now here's where it's gonna get crazy, because I'm about to butcher this woman's whole name. Liliuokalani. Man, look, look, this is one of them nights we about to be out here butchering, you know what I'm saying? Queen Liliuokalani. Look, I'm about to butcher this whole joint. Yeah, she the queen. I feel bad because I can't, especially them Lulu. Yeah, and I don't want nobody who's about that life to be all mad, you know what I'm saying? Liliuokalani. Bam, I got it. I ain't gonna try that again, y'all. But anyway, she became the queen. She ascended to the throne in 1891, 9 days after her brother had died. Her family was adopted and placed in a situation where they could be part of the mission to become royalty. They were baptized as Christians and educated at the royal school. Her and her siblings and cousins were proclaimed eligible to become, you know what I'm saying, part of the throne for king. You know what I mean? This is what we talking about. She married an American-born dude named John Owen Dominus. You know what I'm saying? He became the governor. Later, he became the governor of Oahu. Look, I don't know how to pronounce none of this, John. I feel bad for y'all. I'm sorry, y'all, out here listening to me butcher names. But you know what I mean? This is what they do. This is how it gets down. She became the queen and did her thing. She was out here rocking. You know what I mean? She went to the she went to the boarding school in 1850. She had that life, you know what I'm saying? She gets married, and this is what we do. This is how we get down. You know what I mean? It was just a dope joint. She got the travel. She got the beat at. She was, you know what I mean? They had the royal wedding, and being the new queen, she had to do her thing. She was out here rocking. She got to visit the British people. She got to hang out with other monarchies during that time frame. You know, it was, the first and only queen. There's so much more to her story. Like, it's crazy. Like, they were just like, let's adopt this family and put them in a position to become royalty. Her brother dies. 9 days later, she becomes the queen. No challenges, none of that Game of Thrones stuff. Like, straight out. This is what it is. You know what I mean? Gets to travel, gets to live the life. You know what I mean? One of those things where it's just dope. And then a little after that, when she was preceded, somewhere after that, the whole thing stopped. So it's not like it could even happen again. She was the first and only. Please do your research on her. I feel bad because, you know what I mean? I'm going to mess around and butcher the name again. But please do your research on this woman. This is dopeness right here. Queen Liliuokalani. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is what we talking about. Reigning queen. She was the last of the Hawaiian sovereigns to govern the islands. You know what I'm saying? Boom. You know who put a stop to that? Us, the United States. But anyway, that ain't, I don't want nobody to be out here like, I hate you. You always talking bad about the country, man. How can I wave my flag with pride? It's all good. Do what you do. But anyway, man, we're going to get back. Thanks for listening. Y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all know how we get down, man. This is what we do. So, we got the Mother's Day. Then I'm trying to keep everything a little bit upbeat with the music and all that. So, salute yourselves, man. How we going to do it like you do in church and stuff like that, like the school and all that? You know what I'm saying? Salute yourselves. If you're amongst people, especially females at this point in time who are mothers, look and go, Happy Mother's Day. Mothers, you see other mothers, say Happy Mother's Day. If your daughters are mothers, nieces, Happy Mother's Day. Y'all hug each other, you know what I'm saying? Just stare at each other and go, it's a long fight, but you ain't gonna gives it up. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's get back into this music and do what we do. Get at me on Google me, man. I need to really update a lot of my stuff anyway, so don't quote me if you Google me and you don't get what you think you was supposed to be getting. But we got the podcast joint, we got the music upload joint, and I'm here 2 weeks a night, Wednesdays and Saturdays. So, boom. Once I was about to rhyme, but I lost track of the whole beat. Anyway, let's get back into this music, yo, and do what we do. Yeah. This is what we do. My bad. Look, I was about to zone out. I was like, oh, snap, I got to slow it down, bring it back. Hey, yo, that was the 90s anthem. There's a gang of little kids running around here because of that joint. Boom, boom. Dina Howard got a whole bunch of babies, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else is like Boys and Men and Jodeci. They were like, nope. Dina Howard. After school, it was on and popping. Yeah, I was like, ooh, I'm a freak. Then next thing you know, they was out there with Maury talking about, I know that's my baby daddy. Look at his nose and look at his nose. They got the same nose. You are not the father. Homeboy do backflips and splits and backspins, and then he stop and do the pose with the hand on the elbow joint, with the leg cocked, looking at her like, not your baby daddy. And then she go running off into the back, and he be like, and then Maury gotta come and console her like, girl, you can always come back. But Maury, it's like my 10th time. Well, who told you to be out here getting that freak onto that Adina Howard? It was my joint, though, Maury. You ain't understanding. You know what I mean? But anyway, I would have put that's somebody's real life, though. Don't front. You know what I mean? They can't even play that at their house. They can't play that around grandma and them. Grandma and the aunts and the uncles be like, yo, I know you ain't about to pull that Adina Howard out. That's my joint. Look at all these little nappy head kids you got running around here. And then that one mixed boy with the good hair that I don't nobody even know what he is mixed with. Like, you straight, like what is that kid? I don't know. It was like when I went out of town one summer. I don't know, man. We gotta stop with this. But anyway, let's get ready to get up out of here and do what we do. They say you only live once. That's a lie. You only die once. So anytime that your God allows you to get out here and continue your journey, please show the world the best version of you. Y'all be safe. Peace. And happy Mother's Day, sincerely. For real. To everybody out there listening. I'll let y'all later. One love. Like a Bob Marley or something. But anyway, I'm out. Peace.
This is a Soul of Art presentation.